Hello and welcome to the RBTV Game of the Week. I'm Andrew Pulewski. Joining this week is Jack Roebling, live from Dudley Gymnasium. What a game we have tonight. Number 6 in the state RB against number 7 in the state, St. Charles East. So what do the Bulldogs have to do to overcome the Fighting Saints?
Andrew, I think a key to the Bulldogs' success tonight is going to be getting the sophomore guards involved in the offense. And specifically, I'm talking about Jalen Clanton and Henry Trellenberg. These two have had hot games, and when they're on, it's hard to stop the Bulldog offense. And if they can get in it tonight, you know, their threats from outside, that opens it up down low. We could really be in for a treat.
That is absolutely true, and you can't talk about St. Charles East without talking about the senior point guard, Cole Gentry. He is an absolute stud. You should be seeing number 3 all over the court tonight. I think another key fact for the Bulldogs to grab a win tonight is what you hear in our ears right now, the 6th man standing right next to us. None of them are sitting, all of them are standing. It's a blackout tonight. Worked out great in the Bulldogs' favor. There's a little concern that the St. Charles East are going to have black jerseys, but they came out wearing all orange, and the blackout works to its effect.
And there is definitely an energy in Dudley Gymnasium right now, Andrew. And I think home court advantage in a high school basketball game, you know, that does speak volumes. As if you can get these young players, get them excited, get them some outside energy, some outside help from the fans, you know, that could come out and help. And also, you know, it could take away from St. Charles East, maybe hopefully distract them on their offense, not being able to call plays as easily when the crowd is as loud as they are tonight. And, you know, I think it could be a big factor in tonight's game.
I absolutely agree. It's all about how those young guards play, as you started. I mean, it is Jalen Clanton, Henry Trellenberg are everything for RB tonight, man. They are, if they are on, we are on. If they are off, we're going to have some problems, especially against such a strong backcourt of St. Charles East.
And, of course, Sam Johnson will be providing help down low with Mark Smith. But they're more of a consistent performance type, and so it looks like we're getting ready for tip-off here.
Oh, yes, we are, Jack. And what a game we have today. And this is your tip-off, Jack Bronick against Sam Johnson. Here we go. And you hear the 6 men cheering in our ears. Sam Johnson loses the tip, and it's the man himself, Cole Gentry, bringing it up the floor. Guarded by Danico Jackson. Henry Trellenberg guarding. Now swings back, loses possession of the ball. Jake Esquini back to Cole Gentry. Cole Gentry runs off a screen, 3-ball. Good, and that was a smooth stroke from Cole Gentry.
And you have to think the Bulldog defense was expecting Cole to shoot there, and he somehow managed to find himself open, though, outside the arc.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. Both times they set screens for Cole Gentry. Danico went underneath the screen, and that's an easy feed to Mark Smith, who puts it in. But as we're saying, both times RB went underneath the screen, which caused Cole to be left wide open for 3. We'll see if they continue to do that for the night. It's such a dangerous guy. Jake Esquini, Cole Gentry working around. Now Mark Smith's on him. Good feed inside, got a hand on it. Look for the N1, did not get it. And now number 40, Jack Bronick, will be going to the line.
And Jack Bronick standing at 6 feet 8 inches, towering over the some of these RB guards, and even some of the even Sam Johnson for RB. Looks like Mark Smith is going to have to match up on him to get some sort of height.
Sam's only listed at 1 inch shorter than Jack Bronick here, but this guy looks to be a big factor. He's 215, 6'8". So he's got a lot of muscle on Sam Johnson. We'll see how Sam and Mark do against him. But I mean, if they cover him, they still have a lot of other threats to deal with. Now it's Henry, floater, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Henry Trellenberg.
I don't disagree with that call, Andrew. Henry got a little aggressive down there. And
yeah, I think Coach McCluskey was not happy about how little he moved the ball, and he's coming out of the game.
And subbing in for him, senior Kevin Fitzgerald. Kevin specializing in outside shooting. We'll see if they try and work him in as a weapon on the offense.
Yeah, I think something that Henry did wrong, which they need Kevin to do well, is to spread the floor. Kevin playing good defense, and now it's Cole Gentry. Cole Gentry looking for the screen. He still goes under it, and that's a deep three.
He's going to be looking to shoot all night, Andrew.
Oh, my goodness. And St. Charles is quickly smart up to a 7-2 lead. Danico Jackson, Mark Smith backing down, hook shot. Rolls
That's
in.
a nice move by Mark Smith.
Baby hook. And now it's Cole Gentry, still underneath the screen. Where's the moving screen call on 40? It's not there. And Sam Johnson corrals the rebound over the taller Jack
Andrew, it
Bronick.
looks like Cole's just going to shoot from wherever he is on the floor.
That is what I agree with, Jack. And it's a good rebound by Sam Johnson, puts it back up. Good rebound by Mark Smith, puts it back up. Another offensive rebound, and they're saying he was fouled.
Good physical play by the Bulldog offense there. Mark not letting down to, again, the 6'8" center, Jack Bronick, and he's going to find himself, looks like on the line.
Oh,
or no, they're going to call it an inbound. They were going to call the foul on the ground there.
So non-shooting foul. Danica will inbound. Sam Johnson. It's Johnson for three. No good. And now Jack Bronick gives the ball to the man, Cole Gentry. Cole Gentry. The missed three by Mac Virzel. Virzel worked on by Johnson. Johnson taken to the floor. No dice. Mark Smith finishes it.
And a very fast couple possessions here, Andrew. I wonder if they're going to keep this pace up all game or if someone's going to try and slow it down.
And here is Cole Gentry under the screen once again. And he finds himself with a little bit of space. Swings it off the front of the iron. And Fitzgerald comes up with the rebound. Travel on Fitzgerald call. Nobody's happy about that call.
No, he was falling to the ground there, and he was able to get the pass off, but the ref is right in front of us saying that he took a couple steps before doing so. They're going to call that one a travel.
And now Jack Askini, Cole Gentry, Askini. Oh, gets Kyle Fitzgerald off the ground, but he does not take advantage. And now it's Danico. Danico Jackson. Oh, gets under the screen. Mac. Good ball movement. Jake Askini for three. No dice. And now it's Sam Johnson, the moves. They have a 4-on-3 break here. Oh, I think Danico would have done well to find, or not Danico, excuse me, Jalen would have done well to find Kevin Fitzgerald in the corner there.
And an interesting thing I've seen so far, Andrew, is that it appears the whole St. Charles East team is comfortable taking an outside shot.
That is true. Everybody except for the 6'8" big man, Jack Bronick, is taking a three.
And that's a unique asset to have on an offense if they are all shooters and they can really spread the floor.
Yeah, that's one thing that has been criticized about RB's team is that their big men are not, Sam Johnson and Mark Smith are not willing to guard on the perimeter. And with Jack Bronick doing as much high ball screens as he's done, and that's a three from.
And there we see it.
There it is, Mick Virzel. Vizral, excuse me. Mick Vizral with a deep three.
And that's a good point you brought up there, Andrew, is Sam Johnson and Mark Smith are just not used to having to guard there outside. And whether they want to or not, they're going to have to find a way to keep up on a fast-paced offense. And, I mean, I assume Coach Tom McCluskey is going to stay with the man, so we're going to see how they're able to combat this.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see the effect it has when Jack Bronick, the huge 6'8", 215 monster man, goes out and puts a screen on Danico. Danico has to run under it. It really puts a strain on not only Danico guarding their best weapon, Cole Gentry, but also on Mark Smith having to cover, pick Jack Bronick back up, and still maintain a good position. And so RB down 10-6 here with 4:45 left in the first quarter. We'll see if RB can gain some momentum back. The similar momentum they had on the, they had a quick run there. They were down 7-2. They got back 7-6, and then now that three fell, makes a two-possession game once again. But Danico will bring it up. Sam Johnson. Sam looking for Jalen. Jalen working. Evan DiLenardi having none of it, though. And Evan DiLenardi. DiLenardi to Gentry.
Gentry calling for an ISO.
And that's a kick to Askini. We're lucky he's been cold tonight. He's had a couple wide open looks. Uh-oh. Oh, what a dirty move!
A beautiful crossover by Danico Jackson.
Man, Cole Gentry may need to pick up his jock after that one. Gentry kicks once again. DiLenardi, Askini for his fourth three of the night and his fourth missed three of the night. Jack Bronick tried to go up, and there's a clean steal from Sam Johnson. Looking upfield, Court Vision decides to slow it down. Has Kevin Fitz. Kevin Fitz. And that's Kevin Fitzgerald. That's a three.
And that's a beautiful fadeaway three by Kevin Fitzgerald, and that's what we said they brought him in for.
We were here at Dudley Gymnasium. RETV was last season when Kevin Fitzgerald hit 8 threes, so we know what he's capable of. And there you see Mark Smith unable to guard Jack Bronick when he's on the
behind
perimeter.
the defense.
Yep. Jalen, no dice. And that looked like Dylan already went down hard. You heard the noise all over from over here, but he seems to be all right.
They're calling that foul on Sam Johnson, and that's going to be the Bulldogs' 3rd team foul already.
See, the thing is, I don't think that was necessarily a foul, but I think that the way he fell made it look a lot more like a foul.
He certainly made a sound when he was hitting the floor there, Andrew.
Jack Bronick sinks a long range too. That's scary for RB, who would now fall to 14 and 11 here. Kevin Fitz, wide open. You know he's hitting that.
Thank you,
Fitz, what a monster. That's 2 threes from him.
And you can see the look on Kevin's face. He is into this game.
Yeah, he wants this one. Jacob Skeeney, wide open 3. Just let that guy keep shooting, man. Good hands from Sam Johnson and Jalen Clanton. Jalen Clanton is working on Dylan Artie. And now it's Jackson. Inside to Smith. Smith, baby hook off the front of the iron. And now to Cole Gentry. Good moves. And now that's, and that was Visral.
Oh my gosh.
This is scary how many threes they're hitting this early. Now Danico, Fitzgerald, Johnson. Johnson swings to Jalen. Jalen drives baseline, puts up a floater. No dice. And that went out of bounds. Sloppy handling on the rebound.
That is a nice break for the Bulldogs to get the ball back.
Yeah, Mick Virzal, excuse me.
And it seems like the Bulldogs are doing a lot right on offense. They're just not putting the shots in the basket. They're getting the shots and we're passing the ball around, but they're just not falling as much as they should be.
Absolutely correct. They are putting themselves in a lot of good positions here as Sam Johnson gets it at the elbow. Fitzgerald for 3. That one does not fall. And now it's Cole Gentry. Cole Gentry driving. Bounce pass. Good find. Gentry once again. Driving. What a find.
And a beautiful block by Paul Sickwitz. But
good rebounding, good follow-up by number 20, the new man on the floor, Cam Miller.
Paul Sickwitz, another big weapon for the Riverside Brookfield offense and defense.
A high arcing 3 from deep. Hit by Jalen.
And we're getting a Western shootout going here, Andrew.
Yeah, I would have to agree, Jack. Good moves by Clanton. Good find under the basket. And a good finish by Evan Dielanardi. Wow, is Clanton a weapon. And now it's Sam Johnson. Sam driving, Jalen. Paul Sickwitz left wide open. Kevin Fitzgerald. Driving. He wants it. He doesn't get it, but he gets fouled. And he'll be shooting 2.
That was a good move from Kevin Fitzgerald, from going trapped in the corner to working his way to the basket and then drawing a foul. That was a great play.
Yeah, I think that the Bulldogs should really be attacking Cole Gentry on defense. They need to get him in foul trouble. They need to start, anyone really on this team. I mean, even start thinking twice about going up for a block. That would really mean the world to the Bulldogs if St. Charles East here got in some foul trouble.
Right, and the Bulldogs coming off a home game against St. Ignatius on Tuesday, where they were able to do exactly that with the Ignatius star guard Riley Duty. They got him in early foul trouble, and he had to sit out in the whole second quarter, and that proved that, the Bulldogs pulled out a win in that game.
Yeah, trap, good hands from Sam Johnson. That's his 3rd steal of the night. Jalen to the rack, no. James McQuillan finds Cole Gentry, and he's going to slow down the offense. To McQuillan. Visral had a chance to shoot. Fadeaway 2, no dice. And that's the end of the first quarter. RB down only 2, 21-19. So, Jack, what has RB done well this quarter?
Well, RB's done a good job of just staying in the game, Andrew. With a game this close and with the 6th and 7th best teams in the state, it is so important that you're trading off possessions at the worst, and RB has done that. It's key to not let St. Charles East try and pull away with something, get in a rhythm, any sort of thing like that. And RB's been successful in doing so far. And I would take that as a first quarter, Andrew. Only down 2. We've got a lot of basketball to play.
I would have to agree. You know, they are like 2 prize fighters going blow for blow, and they're just going right back and forth.
Right, and I think it'll be interesting to see the second quarter, what the team's trying to do differently. I think the Bulldogs are going to come out, and Coach McCluskey is going to have to tell them to watch out on the arc there, as we're getting a lot of three-point shots. And as far as on St. Charles East side, I think he's going to tell them to play a little bit more aggressive. They seem to be sloughing off, and that's hurting them a little bit. But overall, I think more of the same will come in the second quarter.
Yeah, and get the ball to Kevin Fitzgerald. You know, he's been finding his way open. He already has 2 threes with only, a few minutes of playing time. He is playing great.
And the inbound taking place right in front of us, Andy.
Yeah, Jalen Clanton. Right here. Getting so close as he came and see it on camera. And Jalen inbounds it to Danico. Danico Jackson. Cole Gentry goes under the screen. Oh, that was almost a circus shot. Paul Sticklett's fighting for the rebound, and eventually the ball finds its way to Cole Gentry, who is aggressively going towards the hoop. And there's calling that a reach foul that would be on Danico.
And that was a good move on the other side by Danico Jackson getting to the basket. He wasn't able to finish there, and then one key thing is you've got to get back on defense, Andrew, against the St. Charles East offense.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so quick. That's a deep 3, missed by number 20. That's Cam Miller. Danico Jackson, Kevin Fitzgerald, Sam Johnson. And now Sam Johnson looking for someone. Nearly got it stolen from behind. Paul Sikowitz. Oh, man, and that was a miscommunication there. I think Danico was trying to leave it alone for Kevin, and Kevin had already peeled off there.
And in a game this close, those kind of turnovers are the ones you remember.
Yeah, you saw it on his face. He was not very happy about that one. And now St. Charles East has a chance to make it a 2-possession game.
Still scoreless in the second quarter.
Cole Gentry. He really wants it. There's another high ball screen. See, now Danico's. Yeah, that's a good travel call on number 20, Cam Miller.
Trying to get a little fancy out there, and it came back to bite him. And now Danico Jackson going to be taking the ball up.
It's Danico. Finds Sikowitz. Sikowitz. Sam Johnson working inside. Gets doubled. Off the glass. What a move from Sam Johnson.
Somehow Sam is able to turn himself around and get a shot where he's already facing the basket. And if you can do that as a center, your shot percentage is going to increase.
And there it is. The 3 sunk by James McClellan. He's had a big impact for St. Charles East. Sam Johnson gets a defender off the ground, but yeah, they're saying it's a charge foul on Fitzgerald, and he knows it.
Again, these type of fouls, these turnovers, RB has come out a little bit sloppy here, and I think Coach Tom McCluskey knows this. He's going to try some new weapons on the Riverside Brookfield Bulldog team with Ryan Hanley and Henry Trellenberg.
Well, yeah, I think Henry learned his lesson, being a little too overzealous early on. And here's Sikowitz guarding on the very mobile Vic Misrel. Good block by Hanley. Ryan Hanley, what a block. And now it's Danico Jackson, and they're calling a foul.
It'll stay Bulldogs ball.
Thanking their lucky stars on that one because Cole Gentry was about to take off.
Mark Smith now subbing in for the Bulldogs, and Paul Sikowitz going to sub out. Paul having a great showing in the first time in on the game. He D'd up well. He got big when he needed to, and he's quick when he has to be. And just a good overall couple minutes from Paul Sikowitz.
I would have to agree, Jack. And now it's Danico. Good moves, finds Henry. Henry with a 3. Got it!
There it is.
Henry Schellenberg coming off his little timeout. Strong.
Let's see if he can keep this going, because when he does, it is a sight to see, Andrew.
Oh, and now you know why Danica was going under those screens all night. What a move!
Oh,
Switch hands midair. Wow, Danico. Good job staying in front of. And that's a 2 right back. No, it's not. It's a miss, and Ryan Hanley comes away with it. Sloppy passing. And Ryan maintains possession. He's thankful he did there, because that would have been a big problem. That's a good steal, though.
Ryan having trouble out on the court against these St. Charles East players.
Man, Ryan Hanley, you know, not having a good minute here.
Looking a little bit like a deer in a headlight there, as he was quick to make that pass, and I think he could have slowed it down a little bit, let Danico Jackson get open and run the offense as planned.
And as the scores are tied here, yeah, there's the end of the 3 from a Henry Trellenberg.
Unfortunately, I think the momentum may have been killed on that one.
Yeah. And we're lucky that wasn't also a foul call on that shot there. Mark Smith, I think, got 2 taps on Jack Bronick's arm. And unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Jack Bronick is back in the game, and they have to find a new way to deal with those high ball screens he sets. Oh, they're calling a travel on Sam
And it looked
Johnson.
like there was a little foot shuffling down there. I think that was the right call by the refs. Maybe a little disappointing, and the Bulldogs have yet to do much in this second quarter.
Yeah, you know, aside from Henry's 3, they really haven't done much offensively. They're kind of stalled out. We'll see if they can get a good defensive stop and get some momentum. Good move from Cole, and on near block, put back in by Jack Bronick.
He's just waiting right there for that.
Like he knew it was going there. And now Danico takes a deep 3. Ooh, off the mark. And good corralling by St. Charles East. And the moves from McQuillan. McQuillan in the lane, no dice. And good rebound from Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson better watch out his backside, though. It's coming. Mark Smith hacked by Jack Bronick, and he will go to the charity stripe.
You've got to give Bronick credit, though. He hustled his way down this the whole court to get down and make that play. Doesn't always work out for you, but you've got to admire the hustle.
That is true. Yeah, he really did. I mean, he lost the ball, I think, right on the baseline, and he still got to the other baseline before Mark Smith did. As Mark sinks his first free throw. That's a key thing. Just as, you know, that's the other side of trying to draw some fouls is, you know, gives us easy points at the foul line, especially if we have, you know, Mark has good free throw shooting here. And he sinks his second.
And that's big. Mark sometimes struggling with free throws, but looks to have found his stroke here.
Let's try not to jinx it here. And now it's Cole Gentry. Jeremy Champagne around, and that's the first 3 Jay Gaschini's made. I think he's 1 for 6 tonight. And that's not a guy that RB wants to get going because he's open quite a bit. And now it's Danico Jackson. Sam Johnson. Good feed to Mark Smith, and a layup from Mark Smith.
That's the type of offense RB needs to be running right now. I wasn't happy with Danico Jackson's far 3 on the last possession.
Yeah, you know, he really didn't try to do anything. And now Mark Smith, good defense, but wow, with a hand in his face, the 6'5", Mick Visral. Gosh, I cannot get that name right. Mick Visral sinks a 3. Danico Jackson. Jalen Clanton. Henry to Sam. Sam with a 3. No dice. And now it's Cole Gentry. Champagne to Jake Askini with his second 3 in a row.
And here he is, Andrew.
I knew if he got hot, it wouldn't be good for the Bulldogs. I think RB needs to try to get some, you know, stop them. If they're going to stop on D, they really need to press because I think the slow-down game is not what RB needs. So they have not done much in the half-court offense this game, whereas I think that's where St. Charles East thrives. And now Cole Gentry swings it, gets Mark off his feet. Back to Askini for another 3. Got it. It's
this
time
is
for
trouble.
A timeout. That is not good. As 4 threes, and that's the deficit right now. RB down 42-30.
And the RB going to have to try and talk something over on the bench to A, stop the St. Charles offense, and B, get something going on theirs as it hasn't just been exciting from the threes, but RB has been doing, frankly, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, a couple inside passes to Mark Smith, a deep three from Henry Schrellenberg. Besides that, RB's been fairly cold tonight, you know. We really haven't had much going on offense.
And if RB can get one of their many shooters into this game, as St. Charles has done, we might be able to work our way back. But until then, we've got to play small ball, Andrew.
Yeah, I think RB's defenders are having a hard time weaving through the traffic of St. Charles. They really do a good job of causing chaos on their offensive half court and really giving RB some problems when they need to try to cover those three-point shooters. And all that is made possible by the great ball distribution of Cole Gentry. That kid is just as dangerous as when he's shooting as when he's passing. Henry Schrellenberg. And now it's Jalen Clancy. Jalen, deep three, not what RB needs.
No.
Nope. One pass and a three is not what RB needs. We need ball movement. We need consistency. We need the RB. We need movement on their offensive side. Sigwitz went for the steal. Now back on his man. A good find by Gentry. Oh, and that is Mick Vizral. There we go. Mick Vizral.
And these St. Charles players seem to always know where their teammates are on the court,
True.
as they're able to just drive into traffic and then throw it back out and seamlessly to an open shooter.
And that's a steal by Cole Gentry. Gentry speeding down the court. Finds his man, Mick Vizral. That was really short. And now it's Danico. Henry Schrellenberg. Henry. Yeah, you hear the sixth man urging for a layup, urging for an easy shot. That's not what they were urging for. That's a good rebound by Johnson. Johnson gets hacked.
Trying to
going
draw
up.
a foul, he does.
All right, that's fine. I'm fine with that. RB needs to start getting into the paint and get to the line. Sam Johnson getting to the line here is really key.
One step at a time to get back into this game.
Yeah, they got to start taking some steps. Down 15 with 1:21 left in the half.
I think it's big for RB here not to let a 15-point lead is a lot, but I think it's important that RB tries to contain them for these last minutes in the first half, and they can try and go in at halftime, get something going, but right now I think it's really important not to let St. Charles get into the 20s or an even bigger lead. Yeah.
Now after those two made free throws, shrunk to a 13-point lead. Going full court press here. Mick Vizral, another three. Man, RB has to hope that St. Charles East goes cold here because they're hitting everything. They've made they've made 6 of their last 7 threes. And that and one, that's a foul. Oh my goodness, Sam Johnson rebounds his own airballed shot and puts it up.
The only beacon of light for this RB offense right now.
My goodness, I think that's just how Coach McCluskey drew it up, right?
Yeah.
Sam Johnson. I think you're right. Sam Johnson's, been doing so well for RB right now because he's getting in the paint, he's putting the ball on the floor, and he's really challenging St. Charles defense to work. Something that the RB guards are not doing.
No.
And the and one free throw doesn't fall. RB still has a 14-point lead. Cole Gentry drives himself and a layup. Gosh, it's so difficult for our perimeter defenders because you saw there, instead of covering Gentry, we went for the protect the kick, and he just took it. And a steal. It's coming the other way. St. Charles East kicks. That's an air ball three. Sam Johnson with the rebound. Ahead to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald taking it to the rack. No dice. Oh, missed layups for RB. It's second missed point on transition. Evan DiLenardi. And they're saying that's going our way. All right, with 15 seconds left in the half, RB will have one last possession.
You gotta get a basket here. Try and get some sort of momentum going into half. It's so much harder to rally the troops, Andrew, if they come out with nothing from these past couple minutes.
That is very true. They've had Sam Johnson's been their entire offense for the last 3 minutes, so it'd really help if we got a little bit of a variance here. Danico I would put it on the floor, try some interior passing, and they do. Errant though, but that's going to stay RB's ball with 3 seconds left. Time for a shot.
And I think here it's okay to go for a 3 just to try and spark some sort of fire.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. But again, I mean, they may have to, based on time restraints. Only 3 seconds left in the game. Have to force something up, but I'd try to run a good inbounds play, get an open look. Sam Johnson, turnaround 2, off the glass and not going in. RB down by a large margin, 50-34. A tough half for RB. We'll see if they can do better in the second. For Andrew Plewski and Jack Roebling, we'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to the RBTV Game of the Week. I'm Andrew Plewski. Joining me is Jack Roebling, live at Dudley Gymnasium. RB finds himself in a hole at the beginning of the second half, down 50-34. So, Jack, how are they going to climb their way out of this one?
This is going to be tough, and we started saying it at the end of last quarter, but I think just by going one step at a time, not trying to think too far ahead, not trying to think that you're down by 16, but think that you're down by 2 and get one basket at a time.
That's a good defense and a block by Mark Smith. This is how we're going to do it, transition points. Oh, man. Henry Trellenberg failing to corral. And now it's a wide open 3, not taken, but taken by Jake Askini, hard off the front of the iron. Corralled by Cole Gentry, who puts it back up, and that rolls in.
Nice offensive possession by the St. Charles East.
Yeah, RB had a couple chances to find that one, but they didn't. And another errant pass on the Bulldogs. Henry Trellenberg not having a good half so far.
And this is a fast start for the Fighting Saints. I'm sorry. And Coach Tom McCluskey going to call a timeout immediately, and I think that could be a good call, as this is not what you were looking for from the Riverside Brookfield perspective.
Yeah, man, this is not at all what we're looking for. RB needed to come out fast, and now they find themselves down 20. I mean, realistically, RB really needs to start taking this one possession at a time. I feel like, they're thinking about the broad perspective of the game does not help them whatsoever. I mean, this team is talented enough to come back. They're 6th in the state. They are talented enough to come back from this, but
they've won games like this before. It just something seems different tonight, and I can't quite get my finger on it.
Yeah. I honestly, it may have been nerves early, but I should have had those calmed down by now. Mark Smith, it's not a good look, throwing it at the rim against the bigger Jack Bronick. Good hands by Sam Johnson, and great ball movement. Mac Visdal, good hands, Jack Bronick, nothing, Visdal, fouled as 3 Bulldogs run to block it.
And it seems like they just keep going until they get some form of points, Andrew, whether it be a basket or a foul or anything really. They just find a way to score.
And it kills me because RB plays great defense, but they play great defense on the first pass, and the second pass, and the third pass, and the fourth pass, and then the 5th pass, and then they just fall apart on the 6th pass or something like that. They play great defense for so long, but the ball movement of St. Charles East is just too much for RB right now. And it all started with Cole Gentry when Danico Jackson needed to start going over the screen. That opened up the room for him on the penetration and kick, which are an aspect that RB really needs to work on now. And Henry Trellenberg coming up cold again. He only has that 1-3 he hit was his only points tonight. And that's a mid-range 2 for Jack Bronick as RB now down 24. They need points. I mean, Sam Johnson with a 3. Oh my goodness, Sam Johnson with a 3.
And that helps, but Sam can't do everything. And Sam's been pretty consistent throughout the game, and he's been putting the only points up. So I'd still like to see something out of it, one of the other 4 Bulldogs.
Cole Gentry left open and hits it. Wow. I mean, the thing is, RB, you say, all right, double their best player. Okay, if you double Cole Gentry, not as easy as it sounds. Not only is he quick as lightning, his passing is amazing. Sam Johnson drains another 3. Hello.
They're going back and forth now, Andrew. Look for the ball to be in Cole's hands when they shoot.
Yeah, and there he is, taking it to the Bulldogs. Nearly stolen from RB. Timeout St. Charles East.
As
Wow.
Cole Gentry hits a fadeaway 3 just for the fun of it.
Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, Cole Gentry, I mean, you saw the end of that Sam Johnson 3. You saw how far back he was from the arc there. But Arby, what they need to do is they need to take a page out of St. Charles East playbook, penetrate and kick. Know where people are on the floor, know where your teammates are, penetrate and find someone who's open. If you beat one man, that creates a 2-on-1 somewhere on the floor.
And at this point, we'd like to thank our RBTV Viewer of the Week. This week, it's Nathaniel Hanley streaming in from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. And we'd just like to thank you, Nate, and really all of our viewers here on RBTV for making this program as special as it is. And
that reminds me, Jack, you can find RBTV, Channel 16 Comcast, Channel 99, AT&T, search Uverse. Also find us at rbtv.tv, as well as our 24-hour sports network that just launched this past year. Wow, was that sloppy. I almost had to stop talking to talk about how sloppy that was. There was a chance. I thought you had it. I thought you had it.
The ball came down between 4 Bulldog players, and none of them decided to take it. And St. Charles East just said, well, we'll have it. I mean.
Yeah. Mark Smith forced him a very tough shot. Cole Gentry. He loves that behind the back move.
Nice little pick and roll. That's a fundamental play right there, getting him to the basket.
Oh, we're lucky the traveling was called there.
And they're going to call a travel, though. I couldn't see his feet from here.
Yeah, I think he did do a little double jump step there. That was something from a dancing class, not a basketball court here. Sam Johnson finds Mark Smith. Mark Smith misses again. He's not happy. He's visibly not happy with how he's playing right now. Cole Gentry. Working on Danico. Swings it. And RB manages to come up with it. We need to speed this game up. That's how you do it, Danico. Unlucky.
And yeah, I think you're right, Andrew. At first, I was a little nervous by the pace of the game in the first quarter. It was going very fast back and forth, but it seems that was actually playing in favor of the Bulldogs. And now St. Charles East has been able to slow it down, and with Cole Gentry at the reins, they're in full control.
I mean, St. Charles East has been straight venomous in the half court. Not sure what the call was there.
The fans are not happy about it, though.
They're saying the call was a non-shooting foul? That's interesting. I think definitely thought Sam Johnson was going up there. That's Sam Johnson working on his smaller counterpart. Johnson driving. Trying to find Nico. See, that's a pass that St. Charles East are consistently making. Mac Visral, deep three, no dice, scrapple, and came up with it. Danico Jackson did. Take it to the rack. No foul, going the other way. Wow. Look at that.
And that just summarizes the game for you right there, Andrew.
I mean, Danico was trying to do the right thing. He trying to get to the hoop, but that's just a little overzealous there.
The heart's in the right place. The execution, however, not there.
I couldn't agree more. Now it's Cole Gentry. Jagoskini back to Gentry. Gentry doubled, but smartly finds his teammate. Back to Gentry, who doubled, but is finding his way out of it. Now it's Jagoskini, who loves the three ball, but drives this time. Kicks deep two. No dice. And now it's Danico. Jalen Clanton. Jalen Clanton driving, dipping, diving, but not finding the hoop. Now it's Gentry. Jagoskini gets Henry off his feet. Good hands from Henry Trellenberg.
Great steal.
Oh, he's pulling for a three.
And that is what is he doing there?
Coach McCluskey, red in the face with anger there.
That goes against everything that they teach you starting from a young age at basketball.
Yeah, and after that, unintelligent play from Henry Trellenberg. Kyle Fitzgerald's coming into the game. Man, Henry, I think maybe the big game atmosphere, the extra sixth man, the blackout, something is not right in his head today. he has made a lot of boneheaded plays, honestly.
And Henry known to have a lot of confidence. Dare I say a little too much confidence out there on the court.
Yeah.
It helps him sometimes, but when you let the ego get the best of you on the basketball court, that's when you start getting into plays like that, and that's when you start getting sent to the bench.
Yep, and he's going to take a little timeout. And our 3 specialists, Kevin Fitzgerald, is coming into the game. Cole Gentry off the rim, nothing. Oh, and that was super sloppy from Fitzgerald. Sikowitz and Danico saying that's his fault for not jumping to grab that one. Sikowitz coming into the game for Mark Smith, who's had a cold stretch as well. Man, look at the faces on the RB bench. They're not, and then the St. Charles East bench. Big difference. Now Cole Gentry. Wow, what a move. Oh, and a scoop, but no score. And Danico Jackson's going the other way. Danico pulls up for a 3. Why? I'm not sure, but he does. And Paul Sikowitz not come up with it. McCluskey, once again, screaming at his players not to do that.
And something worth noting here, Andrew, is how into the game the St. Charles East players still are. They are not giving up any fight despite their 22-point lead, and I just think that shows you how much they came here to play.
Cole Gentry has not missed from 3 tonight, and that's his 3rd. Yeah, that's it. He looks like a D1 recruit. We had a couple in our building last year, one of which and Sam Johnson. Another 3. Wow. He's really been RB's only offense. I think he has been RB's only offense this entire quarter with 1:40 left in it. Drive, great ball movement. Cole Gentry wants it again. He has the hot hand, but he misses. And now it's Danico Jackson coming the other way. Oh, man, sloppy play.
How many of those have we seen tonight, Andrew?
Far too many. Well, one's too many for Coach McCluskey, but far too many, not even close to acceptable from the Bulldogs tonight. It's honestly been straight disgusting how you really see the juxtaposition of St. Charles' crisp passing, great movement, and penetration, killer half-court offense, and RB's honest floundering. Not there. But you know what I mean. This is really how the game's been going so far is, you see crisp passes zipping off the hands of St. Charles East, and you see sloppiness coming from RB, jacking up 3s with, early in the possession, far too early in the possession, impatience. Now it's Kevin Fitzgerald. Sam Johnson. Kevin to Jalen. Jalen trying to work on his man and loses the ball. Coming the other way is St. Charles. Missed 3, and a good rebound by Paul Sikowitz drawing the foul.
And St. Charles experimenting with some of their bench players right here. Although not very obvious, as they're still putting up the offense that RB cannot seem to find.
That's the thing about a team like St. Charles that moves the ball very well, and any team that moves the ball very well, that really has patience, is that most players can pass very well. If you have a team where it's reliant on good players, when those good players aren't in the game, you really lose something. But this team isn't reliant on its amazing players. It's reliant on its amazing system. And they're still running it, even though RB is coming to a full-court press, which they definitely could not have done with a good ball move, and they call a timeout before Sam Johnson got that steal. And St. Charles will take a timeout with 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, up by 22.
And this is just, headed into the playoffs here, Andrew, with sectionals coming up in a week. I think this may prove as an awakening, eye opener to the Bulldogs, as they're going in with some high hopes in the sectionals, possibly pulling out a regional victory first, then a sectional victory. I know there are talks of super sectionals, but they're going to have to slow those thoughts down as they face a real competitor here tonight and again learn what it's like to face a great basketball team. Yeah,
their conference schedule, especially with the new teams in their conference, all very, a lot of small Catholic schools, no real basketball powerhouses in their conference this year. The new teams, Aurora Central Catholic, Chicago Christian, Querin Prep, IC Catholic, St. Edward's, Walther, and Wheaton. None of those schools are big, and most of those schools just do not have good basketball teams. and RB, I think, was riding high after playing pretty much entirely those teams recently. You know, like a slaughtering of Fenton recently. It's just, and then they played Ignatius this past week, which, you know, a little scary there, but they ended up coming out with the win, and they said, okay, you know, they realized what they did wrong, but this is what a good team's like, RB. Get used to it, because this is what's coming for you in the playoffs. And that was Kevin Fitzgerald with the good hustle, going up for that rebound.
That'll wrap up the third quarter for the RBTV game of the week.
Yep. Of course, as always, Andrew Pilevsky here. Jack Roebling sitting next to me. St. Charles, excuse me, St. Charles East. I'm not entirely sure what their record is, but I know it's been incredibly good this season. You know, ranked, as we said, ranked 7th in the state. RB ranked 6th, but playing like they should not be ranked in the state right now.
No, and one key point that I know I've noticed is that RB played Evanston earlier in the year. Evanston, a good school, not a great school, and RB struggled against them as well. Ended up losing by 3 in that game, and just a week ago, St. Charles East took the trip out to Evanston and won by an astounding 24 points. And so that does show you some sort of level that maybe this wasn't as surprising as we thought coming in, but still, I mean, with the rankings where they are, you thought you were going to get a better game out of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I would. That's a great point right there. I mean, just St. Charles East Conference is just so much better than RB, so RB may have a little bit of an inflated record as that ball movement was immaculate from St. Charles East, but the traveling call, lucky it was a traveling call, it probably would have been a foul on Paul, who really wanted that block. And now it's Danico Jackson. Danico. Sam Johnson open, Sam Johnson missing, and St. Charles East coming away with it.
7:30 left in the fourth quarter.
Jeremy Champagne around to Jake Cody. And then a sunk 3 by James McQuillan. I have to look down for a lot of these names because these are their second stringers, honestly. Just have to save a few. Paul Sigwitz for 3. I wonder what percent of RB's field goals this second half have not been 3s. I have a feeling it's very low. Yeah.
Very low.
I think if they've taken 15 shots this half, I think that at least 11 of them have been 3s.
And a lot of those by Sam Johnson.
You know, it's kind of a thing where, yeah, I guess they kind of have to take 3s if they want to get back into the game. It's kind of the player mindset, but I think Coach McCluskey would much rather have them play well than have them win this game, necessarily than have them win this game. I mean,
right. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is the exact place I hoped we wouldn't end up, and you just have to struggle now. And
good play by Sam Johnson.
That'll help.
See, getting to the rack, that's the most important thing, and he will head to the charity stripe shooting 1. Sam Johnson cash money from the line. Jake Cody trying to inbound. RB playing tough press defense now. Good defense from Kevin Fitzgerald. Man, St. Charles East are having a hard time. Timeout was called by St. Charles East. That was good defense by RB there.
Yeah, that worked. I'm not sure where that's been the past couple of quarters.
Yeah, I think a big part of it was they could not play full press on Cole Gentry.
Well, that is true with how
without,
quick he is and how smooth he is.
And yeah, I know. I mean, he plays basketball like Patrick Kane plays hockey, just smooth and makes it look so easy. And you don't realize, probably watching on TV, how quick he is. I don't know if you can hear in the background the RB Pep Band here tonight. Doing a great job. I really think we were talking about this earlier. I think the Pep Band is a great addition to the RB basketball affairs. You know,
Still a positive environment here in Dudley Gymnasium despite the score, and that's good to keep the student body into it.
Yep. And the score line is 22-68-46 with 6:40 left in the game. And that's a three from Jake McQuillan. That's a missed three from Jake McQuillan. Nearly rebounded by Jack Bronick. Bronick blocked by Smith. Smith fighting for the rebound, doesn't get it. And the foul goes against RB.
And it's almost unbelievable to see how much harder and more aggressive Mark Smith has to work to get the same result as these St. Charles East players. They've got a different way of playing this game, and they're able to be more efficient, smoother, and quicker on all their moves, and that's really what it's coming down to, play by play.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little problem. I think another thing is St. Charles East going out with this, with 6 minutes left in the game, has a 22-point lead. That's kind of silenced the six-man. The six-man have been pretty quiet this fourth quarter. I mean, I think that's something that is really hard to do, and they've done it, is taking the crowd out of the game. And I mean, the six-man can chant, anything about these St. Charles players, but they're up by 22. It's pretty easy to silence those critics, as the man himself, Cole Gentry, is back on the floor. And now Gentry finds Mac Vizral, sunk a deep three. When you have a guy who is that big, that strong, who can hit a three like that, that's pretty impressive. And it's impossible to defend.
Right.
Kevin Fitzgerald got his defender off the floor, but didn't take advantage. Now Sam Johnson, and finds a way to put it in. Wow. Good work from Sam.
His 19th point on the game.
Yeah, Sam Johnson, definitely really one of the only bright spots for RB so far. And as he takes a blocking foul. Interesting call there. I could have thought Sam was pretty grounded on that one.
And Sam taking a hard fall to the ground. You hope he's going to be okay here. The last thing you want to do is get any injuries on really either team, Andrew, for the last 5 minutes of this game.
That is very true. Cole Gentry, great ball movement, a screen, and a wide open three that was missed. Sam Johnson. Who else? Honestly, who else? That's Sam Johnson. Great move.
I'm not sure anyone else has scored this half.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe Mark Smith put one in.
Mark on a couple free throws.
Yeah, otherwise I don't think anyone has had a field goal this half. Six men back on their feet here. Good D, and that's going RB's way. Sam Johnson with the steal. And now it'll be Jalen Clanton inbounding to Danico Jackson. And now it's Danico Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald working. Trying to find a way in, nothing giving. Jalen, and he will be heading to the line on the shooting foul.
And I'm a little bit surprised here that they're keeping Gentry in the game. You'd think St. Charles East also heading into playoffs in a week or so. You'd think that with a 21-point lead, they would put in their bench, not only to get experience for those bench players, let them see what a big game atmosphere is like, but also to keep your star players rested, keep them healthy. And so we'll see if he comes out here in the near future.
And it's not just Gentry. Their entire starting lineup is still on the floor.
Again, I think it shows a little bit of the St. Charles East mentality that they're known for.
Yeah. I mean, smart play, certainly. Now it's Gentry taking it to the rack, kicks it out, and a three missed. But a good rebound, fought back up, and won by Mig Vizral. Wow, I mean, what can RB do on that one? They played such good defense, and, a missed three, a rebound.
They are just not matched up to stop this team, and I mean, they're trying their hardest, I'm sure, but they've had 4 quarters to try and stop these guys, and it hasn't happened. So hopefully this is just a St. Charles East thing, because if RB has these type of results against other top-tier teams, they could be looking at a short run in the playoffs.
And Danico forced up a bad 3, which bricks off the front of the iron. And now Gentry will be able to do his worst. Good pass. Nick Vizerall passing. Now it's Gentry. And that's why we don't run a full court offense or full court defense against Gentry. Wow, what a move.
Wow.
Jalen with a beyond deep 3. Mark had the ball in his hands. Good work by Fitz.
Able to throw it off a Saint defender there. Keep the RB ball.
Yeah, man. This is with 3:37 left in the game. You know, St. Charles East leads 76-52, and they're not letting up. A couple more bench players into the game, but still majority of the starting lineups out there. Cole Gentry knocked it out of bounds. And now Danico will inbound once again. And now it's Jalen Clanton. Jalen Clanton finds Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson to Jalen Clanton. Jalen Clanton drives off the glass. Good. And there's your first field goal by anyone aside Sam Johnson this half. Coming with 3:15 left in the fourth quarter. It's not good. Good defense by RB. This is a jump ball. Good defense from RB, causing the jump ball and the possession arrow in their favor.
And another point that I'd like to mention here, Andrew, is that RB has only played 8 players and really only 7 players, as Ryan Hanley made a brief appearance in the game. Other than that, 7 players. And you like to think RB has depth, but then when you look at the St. Charles East team and they're playing 12, 13 guys in the game, they're still able to stay up by 20 points. That's something that may be an eye-opener, may start to scare you a little bit.
Yeah, that is very true. And Mark Smith, after a good baby hook here, you see the move. Great baby hook. And now he will be at the line, shooting 1. Mark Smith, you know, he's had an up-and-down game, a bit of good offense, but, oh, man. Gentry was grabbing and tugging on Danico. There's a little jawing going on right there. Coach McCuskey urging Danico to lay off. And Danico finding it very hard as Gentry was not giving him an easy time. There's blood in Jackson's eyes right now. Good steal by Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson running the floor. Jalen Clanton off a defender. And shooting 2.
And yeah, this is what I'm talking about too, Andrew, is the game's almost over. There's no need to start these feuds between 2 players. I mean, it was a hard-fought game. Result didn't go as expected, but you know what? You just shake hands and you move on to the next one. It doesn't make sense now to get in any sort of fight.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for St. Charles East. You just saw the coach pull Gentry over and talk to him. I heard him say, I saw him say, "Come on!" at the end of the little pep talk he was giving him. So I think he was probably giving him a mouthful about the argument with Gentry.
And here Ryan Hanley checks into the game again.
Ryan Hanley on Gentry off of Sam Johnson's leg, and that will remain St. Charles East ball. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. RB down by a large margin, 76-59. Now Gentry misses a layup here.
You know, although he missed that layup, he just shows how he can really get to the basket in any situation.
Danico tried to work on him, couldn't, and that'll stay RB ball. Interesting. It was interesting to see Danico finally attack Gentry in these closing minutes here. Maybe he needed to try to do that early on, you know. I don't think, does Cole Gentry even have a foul? He has 1. You know, that's something we said earlier would have been a good thing to do is to get him into foul trouble. Jake Lucas, a.k.a. Hambone, checking into the game.
Jake, a captain of the team, doesn't usually see a lot of playing time, but good for the spirits of the players, and I think McCluskey, this may be McCluskey's way of throwing in the towel.
Yeah, 2 minutes left. Dean Ziglich also going into the scoring table. Rebound, St. Charles East kicks, and they're going to hold a little bit, set up a play, slow it down the game, work in the half court. And they do it successfully, leading to an open three, unconnected. And now Sam Johnson brings up the court. Ryan Hanley off the glass, and that's Ryan Hanley, his first points of the game. It's nice to see Hanley get some points late in the fourth quarter here.
Right, a hard worker, and yeah, that's nice to see that.
He stepped out here. The ref is saying that Jeremy Champagne stepped out. And now it'll be Jake Lucas inbounding.
And right, Dean Ziklich and Devontae McKell checking into the game. They are also not typical players, and so it looks like McCluskey may just be trying to give some young players some experience here.
That was Dean. Hanley working. Swings it to Jake Lucas. Jake Lucas, ball moving much better with the subs on the floor. Now Sam Johnson with a foul, and does not connect. He'll be going to the line.
That's a good point you're making, Andrew, is sometimes these starters, they feel the need to take the game into their hands or to make something out of nothing, and in result, they're not playing the game of basketball that they practice. And when you put in these subs who are appreciative to be in the game, and they generally tend to stick to the fundamentals, passing, spreading out the ball, and you're seeing that right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that stars oftentimes need to find a reason to feel like they need to validate why they're starters, and that just isn't the case. If you just play the game correctly, that'll validate it yourself. But, people like, I got to call it, Henry Trellenberg tonight made, 5 or 6 just bad basketball plays, pulling up for threes when he shouldn't have, made a sloppy pass to Sam Johnson on a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 break. Ryan Hanley gets the offensive rebound on a free throw and puts it in. There you go, 4 points for Ryan Hanley. Dean Ziglich teeing up Jeremy Champagne. Ball movement very good, and now Champagne working on Ziglich. Ziglich, he takes to the rack. Good hands by Jake Lucas to almost steal that there.
The refs appear to have stopped calling anything in the final minute of the game. They're just going to let them play it out.
And that's Sam Johnson coming the other way, and that's a kick pass there. Sam Johnson, that could have been a very crisp pass to Ryan Hanley.
That kick may have stole Ryan's 5th and 6th point.
Yeah, I need to give a hand here to Sam Johnson, who's checking out of the game. What a game he's had.
In form is junior Mikey Burchard.
37, 36, 35 seconds. And now Lucas pulls it for a three, gets it! And the 6th man goes crazy as the fan favorite and captain Jake Lucas sunk a deep three.
And the Bulldogs able to close the gap back into a single digit here with 9 points. And the fans are getting a little bit more excited. Unfortunately, only 28 seconds left. We'll see if St. Charles East comes back a little bit more aggressive, as they may have been taking it easy here at the end of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of the RB starters, kind of sitting at the bench, looking at the scoreline, shaking their heads. How did it get this bad? I mean, well, if you look at it right now, it doesn't look like the end of the world. It's only 9 points, but earlier on, it was up to almost 30 at one point, and I think both teams subs RB. It's nice to see the RB subs match up well against a St. Charles East subs, but this is kind of RB's second team against St. Charles East's third team. They played their second team against our first team and still can maintain their margin. At Champagne. Good ball movement, St. Charles East, kick.
It's interesting that McCluskey didn't even try to put in a shooter, and they weren't going to try and do anything with these last 30 seconds, as they're just going to dribble the ball out here at St. Charles East.
Jeremy Champagne.
And certainly a humbling for the Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs tonight.
No doubt. Everyone's in need of a good humbling every once in a while, am I right?
And that is well said, Andrew.
Wow, that's a final score that should shake some heads on RB's sideline here. 76-67. RB fell to number 7th ranked in state. St. Charles East. I'm feeling RB won't be ranked number 6th in the state for much longer.
I don't think so, and I hope that the Bulldogs can turn something around with the playoffs coming up soon. You know, they've had a great season. This is nothing to hang your heads upon. It was certainly an awakening, but they can come back stronger than ever, and hopefully they can go back and make a run in the playoffs, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time RB would need. It would be better to have a wake up now than any other time, because this is such an important time for RB in general. So yeah, I think that's enough from Jack and I. We'll leave you to the rest of RB TV's programming. For Andrew Plevsky and Jack Roebling, thanks for tuning in.